Hey guys, welcome back to the Combat Corner. My name is Jackson,
My name's Kobe.
and we're sitting here today to talk to you guys about mainly UFC 296, which took place yesterday.
It was yesterday. Like a long time ago.
Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington,
Leon.
and the other fights that were under that as well. We'll be discussing a little bit of a brawl that happened in the crowd, some upcoming fights that have just been announced, and also we'll be reviewing Full Change.
Full Change, the Kiwi Classic. Have you had this before?
Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah, it is a Kiwi Classic. You might not be familiar with this from overseas. If you are sitting somewhere that is overseas and not here, and you're not from here, you might not be familiar with Full Change.
Yeah.
Comes in a couple different flavors.
The classic Kiwi drink.
Orange or mango orange.
Does it say that on the bottle?
Well, no, I had to choose between them when I went
Glad
shopping today.
This is the classic.
This is the OG. Keep refrigerated at 2 to 4 degrees Celsius, guys. So if you're at home and your fridge is sitting up somewhere about 6, don't even bother.
Don't let it go anywhere near 0 though.
We've had these refrigerated at 3 degrees exactly, just based off their advice. We thought it's best to do that. But before we go into too much detail, I think we should probably get into the video.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, we should have done that a long time ago.
We should have. We're pretty crap at that.
God.
All right, catch you soon. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Combat Corner.
It's open.
What
It's open. You wouldn't have heard anything. Oh, I spilled a little bit on myself.
Oh, mine's got a little. Oh yes.
Yeah, I've got that too.
It's full.
Mm.
What the hell? Oh, there's no way I'm
Be
not
careful,
gonna
mate. I got some
definitely
on
gonna
me.
spill. Oh no.
Wow, it's nice. It's a nice first sip.
Right, let's give it a go.
600 mils to get through. Kobe likes to break down the sugars. Normally, don't you, Kobe?
I do. This is full of it.
There's 2 servings in this bottle, by the way. This isn't 1 serving.
This is 2. We got 2 servings, less than 1 gram of protein.
We have 4 servings actually. Kobe,
we got 4 servings
between
in
us.
4. This is made from water, reconstructed orange juice, sugar.
Reconstructed orange juice.
Oh, reconstituted. Sorry,
Concentrated.
reconstituted.
Reconstituted.
So I think that just means like
It's got a
taken
new
from the orange
constitution.
and done something with it or
I
something.
like reconstructed
Should we
orange juice
look at
more.
up what it means?
No,
Nah, fuck that.
no. We
The-
have more
the
important
sugars.
things to talk about than your reconstructed orange juice.
Okay. Reconstituted. I don't know what that means, if I'm completely honest. It's got stabilizers in it.
Stabilizers.
And
What are they for?
preservatives. Maybe for like stabilizing it.
They're those little wheels that you put on
A bike.
your bike
Yeah.
when you can't ride.
Packed
They're in
on
the
a
drink.
line, also used to pack milk.
Packed on a line.
Packed on a line, also used to pack milk.
Wow. So
Interesting.
if you get any like
60 grams of
milky
sugar.
aftertastes, you know why.
Tastes like dairy.
Does it? No. Doesn't taste anything like dairy. You've really gone for the hills here.
It doesn't taste like it's got as much sugar in it as it does. It's crazy.
They're good at hiding that.
Maybe pinging.
Pinging.
A lot more sugar than Prime, but it tastes a lot better than that shit. So I'll take the Cool Change any day.
Yeah.
And I bet you it was like 1/5 of the price as well.
Yeah. Yeah, well, oh no, it was about they were $3.90.
Oh, yeah.
So
More than
Yeah.
half the price.
yeah, about 39% of the price.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
To be exact.
Pretty nuts.
Um,
I quite like it as of right now. But anyway, let's
Any
get into this
way.
card, eh? Starting from the top, Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington. What did you think about
I
this?
think
main event?
they both left a lot on the table.
They did,
I
they
think Colby just may as well have stayed at home and talked
Should've let
shit in the,
Trump fight for him.
in the mirror. Yeah, he just his whole chat was crap. It was all crap. His main ploy, the reason that he got paid the amount that he did is because of all the press that he's done for the last couple of weeks. It's not because he actually ended up stepping in there and fighting.
No.
In my opinion, I don't know if we'll see him fight at the top level again.
No, I never want to see him fight for a title again after that. Doesn't deserve it. I don't think he'll ever get back to a title, but
Yeah.
I just don't want to see it. I'm sick of it. I'm done. Done with the Colby train. I used to be a
Whoa.
fan.
Whoa.
Are you not?
Yeah. Well, I was
Yeah.
never on the
he
train.
was
I'm just
never on the
saying,
train.
like, yeah, you're very emotionally.
I'm done with it, man.
You're done with it.
Done. I'm sick of seeing the same shit over and over again. Colby coming out there saying some dumb shit, some over the top shit to try and provoke people, and then him going out there and not getting a win.
Putting on a mediocre performance. Yeah.
And I mean, like his two fights against Usman were awesome. They were great fights. Like they both stood and brawled, and it was great.
And they were
you know,
close.
and they were really close. And Colby potentially could have taken one of those if things had gone slightly different. But on Saturday, there was no Colby in there. He
No.
got dominated.
And for him to be now saying that he won the third, fourth, and fifth round,
So ridiculous.
Illusion.
Honestly, it's just disappointing.
Yeah.
Because I think we were both pretty like, what the fuck's going to happen? This is going to be a crazy fight.
yeah,
We both thought that Leon was going to get it done.
Yeah.
But we didn't think that that was going to happen.
well, yeah, I think ring rust really did show through in the end. I think 2 years out of the cage, like everyone is pretty much saying at this point, it has been the main contributor to that.
It's got to be at least a decent chunk of why that happened.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it did.
Yeah, he looked slow. He looked
looked
afraid,
confident.
man.
Mm.
Like, yeah, the feints that Leon was using were so good. Like they had Colby by the fourth and fifth round. He was falling for everything.
The stance switches.
Yeah, there
The
was
way
a
he
lot
was
of
switching stance was brilliant. Because Leon's a natural southpaw, right? So,
Mhm.
and he was he came out and he was actually set in orthodox quite a lot, and he definitely did that to try and trip Colby up.
yeah, and it
But
worked.
it worked. Yeah, it really worked. And Leon fights just as good out of southpaw as he does out of orthodox. So there was potentially a bit of the game plan coming in. But from Leon, I really wanted to see him get that finish, and he could have got the finish.
Oh,
Sure, he could have got
yeah.
the finish. I reckon he could have. And but he did. Instead of getting the finish, he kind of like sacrificed that to be able to show that he could hang with him on the ground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
and he did.
Mm.
He did hang with him on the ground quite well. Like
He did.
there was a few exchanges where they didn't quite go his way in the scramble.
Like at the very end.
At the very end, yeah. And some at the start as well. Some of the first exchanges they had on the ground, Leon kind of committed and got himself into a bit of a
He was always able to reverse it though.
yeah.
In an impressive fashion.
Yeah, that's right. He always recovered well.
I remember seeing that first takedown from Colby, and he just stood back up. Like it was so easy from Leon. He just was able to get back up straight away, right back to it. And then I think he tried to take him down straight after that, and he did. Super impressive.
Yeah,
Super
it was
impressive.
very impressive.
But wish he could have got that finish. My
Yeah.
verdict score.
Yeah, it would have been good. I had him down for a finish as well. I think we chose different rounds, but we both had the Leon knockout down there.
Yeah.
I
do think he could have got it. I think he played. Leon likes to play it safe, and fair enough. He's the champ. You know, someone's got to come in there and beat him and take his belt. He doesn't have to. He's not. It's kind of like Izzy, right? When Izzy was beating everyone,
That's right.
people were coming in there, and it was like, right, try and take it from me.
Yeah.
And if you try and take it from me, I will knock you out.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to come and fight me, then
Yeah, you need two people
know.
involved in a fight to get a knockout, and Colby wasn't involved in that
No,
fight.
not at all.
On Saturday night, or Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon for us. Yeah.
We should
On
start.
Saturday
I think
night.
we should just start saying that, like, because everyone's all about this Saturday night. We'll be like, yeah, someone's
This Sunday.
this Sunday
midday.
afternoon. Yeah, this
Sunday lunchtime.
Yeah, this brisk evening.
It was actually a crazy weather that day. Just the weather report.
What
got
for
caught.
us?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Nuts.
Yeah, it
Did you
was.
notice that?
Yeah, there was a bit of a thunderstorm rolling
Yeah.
in.
Thunderstorm, heavy rain.
Yeah.
And real bad.
We didn't get too
crazy
much rain over at my place.
Really?
Yeah.
I got it right on the way back on the motorway.
Hmm.
Fucking crazy. I couldn't see.
By the time you got back here, though, it would have been pretty dry, no?
It was pretty much completely dry by the
Yeah,
time
there
I
you
got
go.
back. So
go.
thanks for that, Leon.
Good on you, Leon.
More points from that fight. Yeah, cheers, L. Big L. The corners had a bit of a go at the end. I think it was just mainly Leon's corner, just calling Colby a bitch, because he is.
Yeah,
Well, he's not.
that's fair enough.
I'm always going back on my words.
I think Dana got involved, and I was watching that in his post-fight press conference. He was saying, "Look, you guys have beat him. You guys have already beaten him. You guys have shown that you are this much better. anything you do now is just gonna take
gonna get
away from
fined.
what you've done. Yeah, and they're gonna get fined.
Mm.
It's not worth it.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's a bit silly.
Colby already knows he's a bitch.
You just combined Colby and already.
Yeah.
Colby.
Yeah. He already
Sounds like
knows
a
he's a
cheese.
bitch. He just
Yeah,
lost a
he does.
fight in front of millions of people around the world.
Yeah, there's no need for more. And Leon beat the shit out of him. So, he landed some proper big hits and he dominated him.
Yep.
And again, another point, I think Colby was just there for a paycheck. It looked like he was just there to collect a check, claim that he won yet again, and then go home and probably not come out in the media for another, year.
Yeah.
Then he claimed that he wants to fight Wonderboy. Obviously, you should be fighting Shavkat next. Should be Colby versus Shavkat. The number one contender against the guy who just beat Wonderboy.
No, because then that could set Colby right back up for a title.
You could, but if you're Colby, that's what you should be shouting for, right? If you're a competitor.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Give me this guy. But Leon was
Did he
right.
say in the afterwards in the press conference that he wanted Wonderboy?
Yeah.
Oh.
He said he wanted to fight Wonderboy because Wonderboy's been talking shit.
Wonderboy's been talking shit.
So basically, to sum it up, he was like, I want to fight Wonderboy. Wonderboy's been talking shit in interviews, but when he sees me backstage, he doesn't say anything to my face.
What's
Well, he wants
Wonderboy
to
been
fight
saying?
I don't know.
Wonderboy wouldn't have been saying anything.
I think
Colby just
it's
would want that would be
Easy fight.
That would be an easy fight for him, yeah.
And it would. It definitely would. Well, maybe not if it was that Colby that we saw yesterday, but stylistically, he should dominate.
Yeah. And we've seen other people do that to Wonderboy who aren't even predominantly wrestlers.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Burns was able to take him down pretty easily. Bilal was obviously, he's a good wrestler, but he was obviously able to take him down and dominate on the ground. So realistically, Colby should be able to absolutely smash him.
Yeah.
But he called for him because he's apparently been talking shit. I think he's seen some interviews of Steven predicting the fight. And when Steven predicts the fight, he says, I think that Leon's going to win. And that's him talking shit. And maybe also saying, I don't like this character. But fair enough. Everyone says that. No one likes the character Colby. Apart from you.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump. Two very weird people. But, he called out Wonderboy. The fight we want to see, the fight we need to see is Colby versus Shavkat. It's simple. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's so easy to make.
100%.
Make that fight. Make it 5 rounds.
And
Co-main.
him saying that he turned, that Hamzat turned him down.
Yeah.
That's utter bullshit, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I got to say, that's bullshit. Because at that time, he was waiting for Leon and Usman to be wrapped up. Colby was, right? Hamzat was trying to make his way through, and no one would fight him. And
why would he say no to Colby?
Yeah, why would Hamzat say no to Colby?
And then he was willing to accept Usman last minute as a replacement, which is pretty crazy. I think a lot of the shit that comes out of Colby's mouth is bullshit. Just that shit. It's or it's either lies or it's not fully the truth, or it's words manipulated to make him look good. He sold his soul to the devil. Yeah,
he has, just to try and make this thing work, and it hasn't panned out.
He's a popular figure in MMA. People know who he is, but he's never won a title. I mean, let's be real. This shit talking has got him 3 title shots, which is pretty impressive for someone who's never won one.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to move on from Colby now. I wish he'd just come out and just say, right, guys, it was all an act. I'm going to start being the real Colby now, and just because he's done enough. People are going to know who he is and want to watch him fight. Oh, Colby. Should we move on?
So we want to see Colby up against Shavkat.
Shavkat, for sure.
That would make sense. So that's settled.
That's Colby.
That's settled. Leon. Oof. It's got to be that guy, Bilal Muhammad.
The realtor.
It's got to be him.
Yeah, it's got to be Bilal.
Let's get it over and done with. Okay.
He deserves a shot.
He deserves a shot.
He's beaten all the contenders that he's fought in pretty dominant fashion.
He's been hanging out for a title shot now as well.
Yeah.
Another guy that's waiting for a fight.
Exactly. And you can sell it that they did fight once before. Yes, Leon was winning that fight, but it got ended prematurely due to an eye poke.
Yeah.
So we didn't know what was actually going to happen in that fight. There's some intrigue there. obviously it's the fight that needs to happen.
Yep.
Shavkat, fight Colby. Winner of that gets a title shot. If Colby wins, I really don't want him to get a title shot, but still. I think Shavkat will beat Colby.
Winner of that should get a title shot as long as it's Shavkat.
Yeah. If it's Colby, just retire. Just everyone retire. But yeah, I think that's pretty simple matchmaking from the UFC's perspective. But they'll probably end up doing Colby versus Wonderboy because the UFC is strange.
Well, yeah, they'll probably have a talk to him and see if he's actually serious about wanting to stick around and mount a serious return to the top.
Yeah. Without
Will he do that?
No, he's 35. I mean, he's in good shape, obviously. And we look at Thompson, and Thompson is 40. And he was doing decent against Rakhmonov until he got finished.
Mm.
I don't know.
Different people, though. Completely different people. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting. I catch your drift.
You're picking up my poo.
Okay. But yeah, I think we should move on. We've matched them up now.
Move on.
Pantoja versus Raw Dog.
Raw Dog got done in.
Raw Dog got raw dogged.
He did. He could have won that fight. 100% he could have won that fight. But he was more than happy to just pepper the jab, keep Pantoja at range, and try and kind of outpoint him when he was getting beat on the scorecards. You know, when he had his moments, he wasn't going for a big shot. He wasn't trying to finish him. He was just happy to keep him at the end of his jab.
Yeah.
You know, not really land anything significant.
It looked pretty.
Yeah, but then he just get taken down and held for 3 minutes.
Yeah, his boxing looked good when he could keep it on the feet, but that was the thing that he struggled with, was keeping it on the feet. And then I feel like he gave up his guard too much. He just sat on his back too easily. And just crawled straight into guard. It turned out to be a bit of a boring fight. Yeah. Unfortunately, because
unpredicted.
Pardon?
We didn't predict that it would be boring.
No. And both of these guys were calling for. They were both saying in the presser, they were like, that was all they could say, was they're like, this is going to be an exciting fight. Yeah. You guys might not know who we are or whatever, but you will. And I don't care.
Yeah, not
to
now.
be honest.
Like, that's the second time these guys have fought. Pantoja obviously won both times. Royval, I just can't see him ever getting to that pinnacle after this. Yeah, he's exciting in other fights, but I mean, Pantoja's usually super exciting as well.
He got tired though, man. He got gassed.
He gassed pretty early.
Third round.
But he was just still able to any takedown that he went for, he was able to pull off. It was quite fucked. He was knackered and he'd shoot a real sloppy double leg and he'd still get him down.
His timing was pretty good with those.
Though. Yeah.
I found that
he set them up pretty well.
I found that was the big.
But if you're Royval, surely you can defend some of these takedowns. Not like Pantoja's much bigger and stronger than you. You know, I don't know. Maybe he is. But yeah, like you say, just fold over, grab the half guard, just sit there. Yeah. And he couldn't really escape at all. Pantoja was just much, much better at keeping top control. And, you know, it's a shame, really. It's a shame.
It is a shame. It had the makings to be a bit of a banger. But
another one of those ones, though, I guess, like, if you want to beat the champ, bring it to him. Show him something different. Pantoja's more than happy to just control Royval and other contenders and grind out decisions. As long as he keeps the belt, he'll be happy. Royval needed to bring something different to the table, and he just didn't. He failed at that.
Yeah, it was a shame. That was your deep dive?
Yeah,
nice.
Deep
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It went deep.
Good. But any other thoughts on this fight? Who would you like to see these two up against next?
Well, I was just going to say, we should bring up the flyweight ratings, because I don't really know who's booked and what's going on in that division right now. But we had a small discussion about our friend Manel Cape.
He does have a fight booked, right?
He does at the moment, but he is a flyweight that I think I want to be keeping an eye on.
He's fighting that Nikolai guy. I think Kai Kara France could fight Royval again. That would be a decent fight to watch. That was a cool fight. Yeah, Nicolau. It's tough because you've obviously got Brendan Moreno and Albazi fighting. That's kind of going to clear it up as the number one contender.
Okay.
But if Moreno wins...
When are they fighting?
I think they're fighting next year.
Okay.
Brandon Moreno.
I'm getting educated while everyone else is. That's the
Brandon
good
Mo.
thing.
How did I do? Yeah, you are.
Mm.
Brandon Moreno. He's the man, the myth, the legend. Don't you hate it when it doesn't come up with the Google thing? You have to like.
I'll just put UFC at the end of it.
Oh, really? Ah, that's a good wee hack that you got.
Boom.
Look at you, mate.
Boom.
Very smart.
Who's getting educated now?
Because it's 2024 is not there.
Who's getting educated now?
Well, apparently not me. I know it was me. Thanks, Chuck.
Chuck. What I'm called now.
It's in Mexico City. When?
Oh, that's cool.
25th, 24th Feb in Mexico City. It's gonna go down. Main event.
Nice.
So that's
Nice.
then. When's that cup fight happening?
Nice.
That's happening 14th of Jan. So the winner of either of those two fights has to be. It's got to be one of them who fights for the belt next. And
If Cup can
if
get
cup,
if Cup
Is
can
that his
get
name?
no, I'm saying if Cup
cup,
can get an exciting finish, jump on the mic, you know, go
Yeah.
fucking
fucking
Thornbury. What's Donny Thornbury on his ass?
isn't it
on the-
Nigel? Oh, is that?
Nah,
Yeah,
Nigel.
right.
Nigel
Yeah, yeah.
Thornbury. It was actually
That's the kid.
Yeah. Just get on the mic.
Kind of reminds me of
Make
you
a-
little bit
yeah.
sometimes. Got a bit of sugar.
Make a call out for the belt. It could be all he needs. You know, if that number one contenders fight turns out to be a bit of a snooze fest, and it
Yep.
doesn't get many eyes on it, and Kape can get eyes on him, then I guarantee they'll go with him because the flyweight division, like we talked about recently, doesn't have a fire lit underneath it at the moment. There's not a lot of eyes going towards it, and for good reason, because no one's marketing themselves.
Yeah, and you got the likes of Kai Kara France who goes up there, gets a setback. A few other guys who are like that too. You know, like fighters seem to grow up in that division and then just get knocked back.
I love Kai Kara
Consistently.
France. Don't get me wrong, but he.
You love him.
No. I love
got a
that
wife.
guy. He's a good. He
Oh,
seems like a good dude, and he's a great fighter to watch as well. But hear me out. He doesn't make enough noise. I don't think.
And I think people don't like him generally.
Yeah.
In the UFC space, I think a lot of people don't like him because they think he's like a little bit cringy. That's just what I've heard from a few different people. I like him. I always support the Kiwi lads, but I think people like enjoy Manal Cup a little bit more generally. You know,
That's what I'm saying. He's
No, you're right.
making
That's
noise.
Exactly what you're saying. Yeah,
He's making noise, and
speaks.
yeah, and he's not afraid to kind of say something and make a fool out of himself because it makes noise.
He's like one of those alpha male, like sits there in his chair, like
yeah, one of them. We like that. That's
do.
good chat.
they're interesting people, and people are going to pay to try and see him lose as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're absolutely right.
Oh, of course I am.
Yeah, you always are, aren't you? The other thing is, if Brandon Moreno wins, it's going to be the 4th time he's fought Pantoja. That weighs in big time. So if Moreno
fourth
wins,
time.
yeah, they fought once on the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship. What am I fucking? The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Fighter. They fought once on that. They fought once in the UFC before the championship, and then they obviously fought for the belt as well.
God damn.
Well, you didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't.
Did you, bitch?
But you're painful sometimes. So Moreno has just spent half of his career fighting the same guys.
Yeah, he's only fought 3 people in his career.
He said.
There it
Oh,
is.
okay. So he's had 20.
So
Was it-
season 24. Show this for the people. There's Ngannou. Season 24 of the thing. He fought Pantoja. Then we go all the way up here. And then he lost. Fight night. Maya versus Usman. Decision. And then his last fight, he also lost. So he's lost 3 times to Pantoja now.
God damn.
Crazy.
Knowing him, he will win the 4th.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they'll have to have a 5th.
Nah, he'll Izzy it. He'll
Oh,
make
just
the Izzy
retire-
call. Yeah. I don't keep scores, I settle them.
Yeah. And we were in a dog collar going in.
I can't count numbers. I just won a fight.
Yeah, I can't count.
Okay, so
Yeah, so
that
what are we
doesn't get us anywhere with
What are
that.
we
We want to
talking
see
about?
Royval up against Kai Kara France.
for sure, and we want to see the winner of Cup and thing, Nicolao, or Albazi if he wins.
Yeah.
And then Moreno maybe. Well, yeah.
It's just whoever can make enough noise. Whoever can bring eyes to the flyweight division should be
I just
fighting
want
for
to
the
see them
title next.
screaming. Ah! And
If
whoever can
Dylan
make the
Dennis can
loudest
make
noise.
flyweight right now, they're booking him for the
Chuck him in
championship.
there. Chuck him in. That's what I'm saying too. I like that.
You hear that, Dylan? There you go. There's your way into the UFC.
Come on, Dildo. Get in there.
125. That could be all you.
You could make it as well, I think. He's not that big. So we both agree though, Royval should fight Kai Kara France. 100%. That's got to be the one.
Sorry, there was just a really nice sounding V8 driving up the road. Yeah, I agree. But
I agree.
I agree because I wasn't listening, so I'll agree.
Kai Kara France versus Brandon Royval next.
Yeah, I already said that.
Yeah, and Pantoja versus one of those three fighters.
Oh, so you're just
whatever.
recycling what I said before anyway. I think we should move on.
All right, let's move on. Rachmanov versus Thompson. Good fight.
It was a good fight. I didn't
Interesting
expect it
fight.
to last that long.
Did you not?
No.
What did you think was going to happen?
First round submission.
By Rachmanov?
Yeah.
Not by Thompson?
No.
I thought it was going to be a first round KO by Thompson.
Yeah.
I picked with my heart.
Yeah. I respect that.
It was we figured out a bunch of stuff though.
We did.
Rachmanov's really good. Apparently he had a broken ankle or something, or
Yeah.
dislocated
I always
ankle.
find it tricky with those, you know what I mean? I want to believe them because it's like, whoa, that's incredible. But at the same time, if I tore my ankle, you know, in like a few, like 20 seconds into the first round, I'll be like, yeah. So I've been dealing with this injury for like the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I'd milk it. But yeah, if it is true, breaking his ankle?
He dislocated it or something. I think it was a dislocation.
Oh, that's not that bad then, surely.
It still takes a while to heal.
Either way, wasn't 100% healthy.
No, definitely not. A very serious ankle torn. Reveals so Rachmanov revealed Saturday night after his win, torn a major ligament in his ankle. So he tore something in there
Weeks prior. God damn. But he was still just like, yeah, I can deal with this 40-year-old karate guy.
He didn't land too many punches out in the open. But
Shav.
yeah, Xavi. He didn't land many punches. But I'm not going to blame him. Thompson is obviously a wizard when it comes to avoiding punches and timing and slipping and dodging and
That's
moving.
his shit.
That's the stuff that he
That's
does
his
well.
whole shit, bro.
That is his whole shit. It's like this big.
His shit is that. That's his shit. That's
His poo is really big.
One
Bono.
boy. 1D boy. Yeah, it sucks to see a legend like that lose.
He seemed pretty happy in defeat.
Yeah.
He seemed chipper.
Well, he's happy either way. He's just a good guy.
He's a happy guy.
I think they do need to set up the NMF belt for him.
Who was that supposed to be against?
I don't know. I think they're gone now, though, aren't they?
I think it was maybe Holloway. I don't know. That
I
was
don't know
thrown
about
around,
that.
Thrown around there.
I don't know about what Wonder Boy versus Holloway.
Yeah, but it was like a joke. Like it's not. It
Okay.
wasn't actually going to happen. But they're the two like nicest guys fighting.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. I think Max is a nice guy, but yeah, I think Wonder Boy's on a bit of a different
Yeah. No,
different
sure.
pedestal there.
But yeah, he got taken down, submitted. Rachmanov looked smooth on the ground. His jiu-jitsu looks fucking great. Thompson's never been good off his back. He's never been good on the ground. Like he's not that good at getting back up once he gets taken down. Good defense, but never that good at getting back up.
And it's a shame because he has had a lot of time to kind of get those skills, but like
He's been in the game for a long time.
has never really.
Great takedown defense,
Yeah,
but when it comes to
that's
getting
there.
back up,
But as soon as he's down, it's over.
yeah. And Rachmanov's just so good at taking the back and finding that submission, and you know he did it. And I think we both agree Rachmanov should fight Colby next.
Yep.
Thompson, Give him a fun fight again. Give him a couple more fun fights. He's not getting to the belt.
That's not happening.
It's not going to happen.
No. I
Tony
think,
Ferguson
like we
versus
said, though,
Thompson.
this was the last kind of step in that direction. If he could win this fight, then yeah, maybe we could talk about him in a title conversation. But no, we can't anymore.
No.
Who is there
Sure.
that is a fun fight from?
Um,
Oh, God.
Dustin Poirier, that would be cool. He went up to 170.
That would be cool. I just had a thought. MVP's just been booked against Kevin Holland. We're going to talk about that in a wee bit.
More
But
of that.
God, no, because then you could set up Holland rematch, and
That'd be golden.
it would be
I'd love to
golden.
see that
But
again.
surely there's more people that we could put him up against in terms of styles make fights. This guy is one of the best people for that term. Styles make fights.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pure karate, pure kickboxer, is not going to do anything else. And yeah, you can put that, just that in its pure form up
Together.
against, yeah.
Because MVP is the Taekwondo guy.
Yeah.
And both point strikers, but both able to knock people out. Would be interesting. I want to see it. I agree with you there. Thompson,
Thanks.
give him a bit of a layoff. It's okay, buddy. We've not been doing that quite as often, have we? Oh yeah, give me my coin.
It's gone.
What?
We spoke
Oh,
about that. It
no.
must have been when the shelf fell off. I was going to give it to you just then. So we'll sort that out in a minute, guys. Don't worry about it.
Should we quickly, before we do that, Tony versus Pimblett was sad.
Yeah, it was sad.
It was sad. Moving on. Don't want to talk about it. Tony just needs to go.
He
needs
does.
to go home. He didn't look at all in that fight, ever. Pimblett gassed as well. Bad. In that last round.
Yeah, he wasn't in a good place. He
Wasn't.
just kept trying to prolong just wait it out pretty much, that last minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yeah, and I think Tony's got this confidence about, if I get taken down, I've got the jiu-jitsu to submit someone from my back. I don't need to worry about getting back up. But he was not even close to a submission at any point. He had no offense.
There was a couple times where he looked,
but not
like he was-
close.
no.
Like, threatened kind of slightly. Didn't like watching it.
No, it sucks, man.
Yeah,
'Cause-
because Pimblett's not that good.
Yeah.
His chin was high up in the air, man.
and that's a problem that people have
Yeah.
been talking about since day one.
Fuck, imagine him
We're
against.
going to see him get flatlined at
Gaethje.
some point. We are going to see him get
God,
flatlined.
yeah, he's got a good chin, but he's with your chin out like that, like a Gaethje would just. Imagine him versus Fiziev.
We'll talk about who
She.
he should be fighting.
Yeah. Who should we see Pimblett up against next?
Um,
In your humble opinion.
who's not boxed at lightweight at the moment? Pull that up, Jamie.
I'm not gonna be. They don't have like a thing of who's not booked.
I know,
you
but I'll be able to see when I look at the lightweight division.
it's a good point. It's a good point, mate.
Go down.
Can't quite
There
see.
you go.
So we've got. Who do we have? Take it away, Earl.
Okay, I
Bobby
like.
Green.
Yeah, I like that. I was actually just going to say that Bobby Green versus Paddy Pimblett would be a great matchup
Would.
because he is a very seasoned striker. We just seen him also beat Tony Ferguson.
Mhm.
Obviously, more recently we saw him take a really bad loss to Jalen Turner. But he's someone that could expose the striking problems that we see in Paddy that a lot of
Yep.
other people do as well. And also well enough versed in jiu-jitsu from what we've seen more recently from him. He does have the ground skills to kind of defend when he needs to, but also we have seen him been dominated by the likes of Islam and
Yep.
that too.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's a winnable fight for Paddy, for sure. But he could also face some real big challenges in that fight as well.
Yeah, it's a winnable fight. Because, yeah, like you say, a Gaethje, but even a Dan Hooker, man. Could you imagine
Oh, yeah.
Dan Hooker versus Paddy Pimblett?
Yeah, it wouldn't go well. Jalen Turner, Dan Hooker,
Now I want to
anyone
see
in
that.
that top 10. Yeah.
Now I really weirdly want to see that.
Benoit Saint Denis. That wouldn't go good for Paddy.
No.
What
There's
happened
so
in his
many.
last fight?
Yeah.
He clean KO'd someone who was walking away with his chin up.
Hmm.
Yeah, I want to see Paddy fight in the top 15 next. Bobby Green,
It's time.
Moicano, Drew Dober, any of those guys for sure. but anyone above top
top 12 and up.
Yeah,
It's dangerous, hey?
I just don't see. Maybe like Dariush if you could clip him or something, but he's not going to beat him on the ground. Like, yes,
You don't
Paddy's
reckon?
got some good.
He's got some good wrestling as well.
He's got some good wrestling, but I just think
Tony's no slouch in the wrestling department either.
No, he used to be.
I know.
Now
I know he's old,
He's broken.
but he's still got the skills.
Yeah. Yeah. Give him Bobby Green or Drew Dober or Moicano. But no higher than that if you want to keep your cash cow running.
That's
Because he
right.
will get demolished by anyone else above that. Anyone with knockout power and decent takedown defense is going to demolish it. He's not going to win a title. Imagine that. Not going to happen. Wasn't a good day for America in the weekend, was it?
No, it wasn't really. No, they did terribly. All three of them losing on the main card. God. Bloody poor Yanks, eh?
The poor Yanks. All four of them. Rory
So-
Ball's American. And Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah.
All five of the five American. Oh, well, I suppose Emmett.
Emmett's American,
But yeah.
So Pimblett should be fighting Bobby Green, Moicano, or Drew Dober, like you say, and Tony should never fight again.
Yeah.
that's the coldest way of putting it.
He needs to stop.
And yeah, I mean, he's obviously going to be the master of that decision and whatever, but God, man, if you want to have any brain cells left, surely you stop this soon.
Yeah, if he wants some longevity in his life and he wants to not, it just in general, just you don't need to keep fighting. Jury's got enough money. It's just that he can't walk away because he wants to walk out on a win. But I'm sorry, Tony, it's not going to happen. Unless they put him in there against like someone way lower in the rankings.
Who we just don't know.
Or you could put him against, who was the guy who Saint Denis beat? I had Matt Favola. I'm going to chuck his name out there, but then he KO'd Drew Dober. Nah,
Don't risk it.
just don't.
Because
fight
then Tony loses to no one. You know what I mean?
And then
Like,
it gets really bad.
then
You're
it's like, oh God, that's 8
that's
losses in
already
a
really
row.
bad. Yeah, that breaks the record.
Is it? He's tied for the record now.
Yeah,
Is it?
it's 7.
Who's the
BJ Penn.
BJ Penn?
Yeah.
7 losses in a row as well.
So yeah,
That's good company.
yeah, it is.
Both
Two
greats
legends.
in the sports, you
Yeah.
know, who both obviously didn't know when to
Call it
hang up the
quits.
gloves.
Yeah, Tony, please just do us all a favor and go. Just we all love you. We all loved your career. You're amazing. You're a legend. Start a podcast. We did it.
I could not imagine Tony Ferguson on a podcast.
No, he's a bit nuts.
Like, yeah, he's just too.
It'd be a unique show.
It would be a unique show, but it would also be one that you'd probably get really frustrated listening to.
Yeah, it wouldn't make much sense.
What?
Yeah, maybe him and Eddie Bravo should start a show together.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
They're good
I
friends.
saw it. I was on YouTube today on my lunch break, and an Eddie Bravo video from 12 years ago came up on my recommended of Joe Rogan arguing with this BJJ black belt in the changing rooms.
Yeah, I watched that today too.
Did you really?
Yeah, that guy plays a character.
Oh,
That
does he?
Brazilian guy. Yeah, that
Okay.
came up on my feed. Oh, mate, wait, we're on the same YouTube channel.
No, I was on my personal
Oh,
one.
was it?
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck? It's random ads.
Yeah,
I literally did. I watched that like just before. Didn't watch the whole thing
that's so odd. Yeah, I watched the whole thing. It was a very weird video.
because they're talking about Joe's talking about that bacteria that cats get, and then they give it
Well,
to cows, and then
They're arguing about if weed's bad for you or not.
Yeah.
The whole video. I didn't know the guy was playing a character. He seemed like actually kind of pissed off, and I was like, "What's going on?"
yeah, maybe I think it's the same video. It definitely sounds like the same video.
Hmm.
And like they're talking, it's ages ago, and it's like a very Brazilian guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he
the-
plays a character.
Anyway, I was looking at Eddie Bravo's YouTube channel after that because I was like, "What the hell?" Like these, going through it, there's all these old videos of Joey Diaz and
Yeah.
Joe Rogan like stoned ass, like from ages ago, from like all 15 years ago. It's
I'll
so
have to
funny.
watch that. It's funny.
But moving on.
Emmett vs Mitchell.
God
fucked.
Almighty, the
That's
knockout
awful.
heard around the world.
Yeah, literally, just the fist hitting his chin was really loud.
I felt
Loud
ill,
fucking
bro.
thing. Yeah, that was
I-
awful, man.
It was. I want to talk about the knockout, but God, Bryce Mitchell. I hope
Oh, he's alright.
I hope he's all right, man. Like
Yeah.
he was not in a good way. He had a seizure about 20 seconds after he was knocked out. He was out for a good minute.
I honestly thought this was potentially the first death in the octagon.
Yeah,
I was horrible.
I was feeling that way too, bro. I was not. I did not
Apparently
feel
he was
good
fine.
about what was happening
No.
in front of me at the time.
That was crazy, and it was Emmett threw 2 punches in that entire fight.
Really?
Yeah, and obviously he landed one of them, big time. I don't know why Mitchell on 2 weeks' notice didn't shoot for a takedown almost instantly on a guy like Emmett.
Yeah,
Emmett's a guy who has power that can knock you out. Obviously,
did he shoot at all?
no, didn't shoot at all. He said his game plan was to jab, stay on the end of his jab, and maybe mix in a couple takedowns. That was his game plan. But against Emmett, who's a better striker than you just naturally, and he's got that knockout power. Terrible game plan from Mitchell, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tricky, man, because that guy looked like a world beater at one point in time, Bryce Mitchell,
he did.
the way he was coming through the lower end of the rankings. But recently, he's caught a real real wind in his stride.
Lost that fight to Topuria. Obviously got dominated there. And he did beat Dan Ige, which was impressive. But he also then obviously just got KO'd again. I don't know what's next for him. A long time out.
He was talking after his last fight that he might retire, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Saying
the
that he just
Topuria one.
give it up. Yeah.
So, but he seemed in really good spirits after the fight. He released a video and he seems okay.
That's good.
Yeah, and he said he's happy and not to worry about him. But yeah, I don't know. After it's just taking these fights on 2 weeks' notice, man. It just doesn't end well.
No,
It doesn't end well.
No, we've seen it time and time again. But the times that it does work out is those little slithers of hope that all of these guys that are walking in there on a couple of weeks' notice hold on to.
I'm going to do that. Like the Jalen Turner versus Bobby Green matchup. Like he did. He came in there a week or two notice and he did what he did.
Yep.
Almost killed him.
Yeah. Probably gave him more brain damage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. 100%. But no. Yeah, fighting a guy like Emmett as well with that kind of knockout power when you're not prepared. It's a tough one. It's a tough one, and hate to see it for Mitchell. Wonder what would have happened if it was Giga Chikadze. That would have been interesting against Emmett. He's a much better striker, obviously, but I didn't like it. I want to see Emmett against Mitchell again. Run it back. Emmett versus Mitchell 2. UFC 300 headliner. That's what I want to see.
It would be ugly.
Yeah. We got the rankings up here. Should we have a wee look at featherweight and match these guys up before we move on? So there we are. Ortega and Rodriguez are booked. Arnold Allen is booked. Curry is booked. Holloway isn't booked, but Emmett versus Holloway.
Yeah, that'd be a cool fight.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
But Yair versus Ortega, is that? That's quite a nice little fight, actually.
It is. It's a great fight.
Do we think that's a title eliminator?
Yeah, for sure. It's got to be. Well,
both of them fought for the belt not too long ago, though.
Ortega was quite a while ago. That was about a couple years ago.
Arnold Allen's also booked a fight. Who's he fighting? Is he fighting Kelvin Cater?
I think it might be that Evliov.
Oh, I think you're right, actually.
Let's have a look.
We are having a...
We're going to take a peek. Yeah, Evliov. 17-0. That's going to be a tough fight. Fuck.
So...
Yeah, Josh Emmett against Max Holloway, please. I think that'd be a great fight. I think Holloway would definitely win, but
no, Holloway versus Justin Gaethje is going to come out. It's going to be announced.
It's going to be announced.
That's something we need to actually quickly brush over. We are on a mad string of predicting fights.
Yeah, we are.
Which is why I really need for the one or two people that are listening right now, Jack and most likely Zach.
Zach, maybe Mark.
Maybe
Ash will
Mark.
be listening.
Ash,
Shout out Ash.
okay. So you guys, I know you guys are listening. So I'm just talking to you guys now. Anyone
If you're
else,
listening, leave a
anyone
comment.
else who was kind of listening can leave the room at the moment. But
Yeah.
Max
Bryden.
versus Justin Gaethje. Yeah, Bryden's just waking up.
Yeah. He's
Bryden's
fast
just-
asleep.
Bryden's just like, well, are they talking to me? What?
Bryden, wake up! Bryden!
Max versus Justin Gaethje is a fight that is going to happen. It's not announced yet. We called it, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago now?
Yeah, when we did that.
And
yeah.
we're holding on to it because it is going to be announced for UFC 300, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah,
gonna
UFC 300 or around that kind of time, depending on if Connor's going to jump in.
Yeah.
We'll see. But yeah, I want to see, it's got to happen. Max has done everything he needs to do at featherweight. Move up. You're still young. Give it a go at lightweight.
We've seen him.
Gaethje.
We've seen him there before.
Yeah,
We've seen him.
multiple times.
Well, yeah,
Once.
the one that really stands out to me. Well, yeah, wasn't it only
I
once?
think it was just once.
Yeah, against DP
DP.
in an absolute brawl
Yeah.
for the ages. One of my all-time favorite fights.
Yeah, it was a great fight.
One of the best moments in UFC history, I think, in the 5th round when Dustin gets up out of his seat and Max has to move pretty much all of his camp out of the way. Yeah, get out of my way.
Right, okay, let's
They
go.
both get into the middle of the octagon and they know what's coming for them, you know?
One
Max
final
is
round
a
of war.
legend. So yeah, him versus Justin Gaethje. If you didn't know, now you do. It's going to be
Happening.
booked.
So sorry, Emmett, you're gonna have to fight Giga.
Yep.
Rebook it. Emmett Giga, Emmett Giga, Emmett Giga. Mitchell, don't fight for about 3 years.
I think who's Mitchell training with? That's another thing. Like, what, is
He just trains with a couple people, I think. He
Maybe-
doesn't have like a big camp.
maybe
or
go?
anything.
Yeah, switch it up. He obviously needs to try something different.
Or go nomad. Go
He
around.
needs to. No, he needs something solid, man. I think he needs to elevate his game. You know what I mean? And he needs to seek that out from something or someone.
He could do with consistent training with other top fighters, but I also like it when fighters are stick with the gym that brought them up.
Yeah,
I think the guy who owns the gym that he fights out of is like basically like a father to him.
yeah.
You know,
that's
so-
good if it works.
Yeah.
That's. I always like seeing that too. Like you've got say like Sean O'Malley. You know,
Conor McGregor.
he's fighting in a pretty small team. Conor McGregor still does fights in a pretty small team, but those guys made it work. They got all the way to the top, and they showed that they can fight with those people. Whereas Bryce has gotten to the top, and so far he hasn't shown us that he can stand with these guys.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I think just bring in top level sparring partners. I don't know if he's doing that on the day today, but like bring in people like Corey Sandhagen, bring in people like, you know, people from the 135 division, you know, the 145 and the 155 division to spar with consistently. But I know he lives in Arkansas. But that's another thing with Bryce. He's not leaving his farm. He's probably training at the best gym that's close to his farm.
Yeah,
And I think the farm to him is more important than his fighting career, you know?
that's really showing.
Yeah. it is.
You've got to be all in. That's
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
So many people have said it.
I think he
Like,
is.
If you're not all into fighting, you're getting
gonna
knocked out.
Yeah. Bryce, do what's best for you, mate. We love you. You little Bible basher. Do you want to have a look at the prelims? Or should we talk about Plessis and Strickland?
No, because there was one fight on the prelims that was an absolute banger.
Oh, yeah, I
and
know
Cody,
what you're talking about.
Cody Garbrandt also got that.
That was good. That was nice
great
to
finish,
see.
yeah.
I was happy to see that.
I'm happy to see, and a great call out too.
Yeah.
Biggie?
Figgy will be
Biggie
a good fight.
versus that'd get him back onto the main card.
I think he'd get chinned again. He would get
Oh
chinned
yeah, no,
again.
yeah. Cody would get slept, but
Let's we'll swing over these fights real quick.
Yeah.
So Alonzo Manafield, Dustin Jacoby. Shame for Jacoby because he was actually dominating the striking. He just kept getting clipped at the worst time.
Yeah.
And
that's exactly what happened.
yeah, Manafield just was getting peppered with the jab. Dustin Jacoby's jab was amazing.
He just had the bigger moments.
Yeah.
Manafield just hogged the bigger moments. Jacoby just kept the fight. It was just stayed consistent throughout the whole fight, but it wasn't enough.
no, because
He didn't have any moments that would have swayed me to think, oh, you know, everything was just, it was just enough.
Manafield did well.
But that fight was all right nonetheless.
Yeah,
It was
good,
enough
man.
action to keep you interested. But
The next
Boy.
fight down. What a fight! Fight of the night easily. This was insane.
DC was saying it could be potentially fight of the year, which
Yeah,
I
it could
think
be up there.
it's a bit of a
It's a
stretch.
stretch, but it could be up there. Top 3 probably.
Yeah,
Top 5 at least.
yeah, I think
this
so.
is a banger.
It just, how on earth did her lead leg not give way, Aldana?
Yeah, I don't know.
From the get-go, within the first minute and a half of the first round, I was like, yo, this is getting stopped by leg kicks. There's no way you can just, like, her leg instantly bruised up. It was instantly red. There's instantly welts.
She was moving from it. Like,
And yeah, you could tell. It was noticeable that she was feeling it. But she just said it right there. She didn't switch stances once.
And her stance is very boxing heavy with the heavy lead leg, which doesn't help in that situation.
Her striking was like, it was quite I can't think of the word. You could read it quite easily. Like, she would step into everything, and it, like, her lead leg was a telling part of any strike that was coming. So anytime she planted that leg, you pretty much could bet that you're going to be able to kick it.
She's going to get kicked, yeah.
Yeah.
And Rosa did win that first round, mainly due to the leg kicks.
Mm-hmm.
But in the second and the third, Aldana just came back with a force.
Yeah.
She got clipped with a few shots as well and, showed a chin. Rosa looked like she had some decent power, but Aldana just kept it fundamental, kept the strikes coming. Yeah. And we ended up seeing one of the best fights of the year for sure.
The adjustments that she made after that first round, because in the first round, it was not her fight whatsoever.
No. Looked like she was going to get finished.
Leg kicks aside, it wasn't going her way. So yeah, what she managed to do in that second and third round, coming out and making those small changes and adjustments, and really, like, accepting the fact that you are going to have to stand in the fire with this woman. Man, what a fight!
Yeah, what a fight! 2 absolute warriors.
Both of them unrecognizable by the end of it, though.
Yeah, and then did you see that picture of them in the hospital? When they were like,
I haven't seen that.
They were like,
I like those photos though.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
always nice. And yeah,
yeah,
Cody Garbrandt getting a round 1 KO.
He got pretty peppered up on that leg as well. He's gonna have to watch out for that if he's fighting Figgy. And his chin was out there, and he was thrown from the hip, and it was impressive, but there was a lot of warning signs there.
Cody
a lot
Garbrandt.
Of warning. Yeah, it's like, bro, it's been like 7 years since you won the title. Surely you've improved on this shit now.
Well, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, we were just talking about it. Like, there's people that you
can't teach them.
No,
they just stick to what they know.
Old dogs.
But impressive KO nonetheless. Lipsky versus O'Neal.
I missed that.
Yeah, I watched it, but I can't remember it for some reason.
I got home from work at that point, just as that fight ended, and Cody was walking out.
But Lipsky won. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
It was a very good fight card. Well, no, I won't say very good. The prelims were awesome, but the main card did disappoint a little bit. Opinion. It would have been nice to have Gary on there. That really switched things up. Obviously, he's rebooked, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But there was another press conference which went down with Strickland and Duplessis, and afterwards in the UFC 296 crowd, Strickland and Duplessis were sat right in front of each other, and they got in a huge brawl, which was broken up. But there was some footage shown on the actual broadcast, which is funny. Strickland basically assaulted Duplessis, who was talking shit, and stuck to his word. Basically, that's what Strickland lives for.
Yeah, anytime, anywhere,
anytime, anywhere. Like he's not gonna let you just talk shit and get away with it.
No,
ever. Like why would Strickland? Duplessis must have known that that it was gonna happen.
Well, I think there's always that level of, is this a character? Yeah. That everyone would have with Sean, I think, in the UFC. They're kind of like, but now they know.
Yeah.
Now I think the questions are answered. And yeah, it's a hard angle to kind of agree with either of them here. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not great to be assaulting people in public. It's also not great to be
talking trash,
talking smack about
why would they
someone's childhood. But then, I mean, we see Colby in this week's press conference just gone talking about someone's dead father.
And we see Sean talk about some horrible shit about people.
Yeah. Sean brings up the worst in people.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm a hypocrite.
It's hard, bro. Because like, it's got to be a weird vibe, man.
I just think just don't sit them next to each other.
Oh, that's an obvious.
Yeah.
That's an obvious point, but.
These people are fighters, and there's actually booked 2 fights, and they've already been talking shit about each other. Like, come
And
on.
you pop them less than 6 feet away from each other.
Dana said that was his idea.
Yeah,
Apparently.
I'm sure it was.
Bit of an overlook, wasn't it, Mr. D? The dickhead.
I still reckon there's. Come on, man. We can't say that.
Not about
You
the boss.
can't say that. Right?
Sorry, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
That's the boss. That's the
Sorry,
boss
boss
we're
man.
talking to.
He said it, not me.
I didn't.
He said it.
He said it.
Came out of my mouth, but he said it.
I reckon, yeah. Sean Strickland needs to stay the champ. He needs to do it for all of the survivors of child abuse around the world.
Yeah.
But oh man, I just want to see him get it done over DDP. Do you imagine a South African champion
No.
and all the fans and the crap that would bring with it?
Yeah. It would be cool to see a fight in South Africa.
That'd be cool.
That would be
I'm
pretty
not
cool.
saying that.
but-
I'm not saying that wouldn't be cool.
But I know what you mean. I want Strickland to win all the same, and I think he will, but Plessis confident as fuck. Like, he is so confident.
Yeah,
he's gonna get this
that's kind of concerning.
done. Yeah, and we could see him knock out Strickland.
We
He's
could
got
see
fucking
anyone knock
power.
out Strickland.
We could. We saw Pereira do it, and obviously Pereira's a bit of a special case.
Yeah.
Bit of a special case. But we also saw Usman rock him hard at welterweight. Chin's a little bit suspect. Who knows? We'll see what happens. We'll
Yeah.
break that down later.
We will.
But it was interesting. The press conference was crazy. Sean got a little bit up in his feels, which was surprising to me, because he dishes it out so much to people. And then when Plessis and Sean O'Malley start coming back at him, he gets a little bit triggered, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't like people talking shit back at him about his trauma. And fair enough, but, maybe if you can't handle it, don't dish it out quite as hard as you do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm one for shit talk. I think it's great.
I love it too,
And people who say that they're not in for it are just lying and trying to play the high ground. Like, oh, I watch the sport for the fights. Like, you watch the sport for the fucking drama and the fights.
Yeah, the fights are a bonus.
Yeah, it's all just a big bundle.
Yeah.
The ultimate championship. It's not the ultimate fighting championship. The ultimate championship. That's why
The UC,
the UC.
University of Canterbury.
Yeah, that's the university around here.
MVP versus Holland has been booked. We briefly spoke about this earlier.
Did we?
Yeah, we kind of brushed over it because I brought up MVP versus Stephen
Oh, yeah,
Thompson.
you did. True.
Then alluding to the fact that he is now in the UFC, which
Bit of
is
an
very
alluder.
exciting. We did think that had gone and
A lot of
passed.
potential. Yeah, we did.
Well,
Well, he was in the cage at the PFL event.
was he?
Yeah, they brought him into the cage, like potential PFL signing.
Potential.
Yeah. But it was like, come on, don't fucking announce him before you fucking...
That is
have
so
actually
funny.
signed it.
That just shows the unprofessionalism of that organization in one.
Plus, guys, if you do that, Dana's going to be like, I'm going to pay him more and just to
sign
fuck
it,
you over.
yeah. Imagine if they just waived all of their potential signings
Yeah.
through the ring. It
'Cause-
must have been to get some sort of crowd reaction and see if they could actually generate any buzz.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
all of the PFL fans were like, and just nothing
that?
happened. That's just how they are.
That is what
And
they're like.
then he's moved on to the UFC where, yeah, like you say, he's probably getting paid a third of what he would have in the PFL.
Well, what's probably happened is that PFL offered him more than the UFC's initial offer. And then the UFC saw that they brought him out and they were like, okay, we're going to pay him slightly more and give him the platform of the UFC. Because that's the big thing, right? That's the
That's
thing.
true.
And then he's just been like, yeah, of course.
He's
I'll take
quite
that.
old though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 35. So, but I mean, a couple fights in the UFC and you propel yourself into a career after the UFC,
That's right.
So
It's a good move.
it is a really good
It's a
move
good
for
move.
MVP.
And Kevin Holland is Taekwondo versus Kung Fu.
Yeah,
Exciting.
36.
We've already seen that
37.
Holland is more than happy to go in there and stand and bang with the striking
Elite.
technicians.
Yep.
If you want to say. They are. They're all very technical, and they're all technical in their own separate ways.
Wizards.
In their own separate little classes. Their own separate little gowns and gis and all sorts of different costumes, and
Tattoos.
I
and-
kick like this and I kick like this and I don't punch in the face, but I have to now because I fight in MMA.
Karate.
Yeah. So it's interesting. It's exciting.
It's very exciting.
And it's a bit of fun. It's just a bit of fun.
I think we're going to see a finish in this fight for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think Holland's going to wrestle.
Well, he replied to our comment on.
Yeah,
he replied to our post on Instagram, and it's saying that he will not be wrestling.
Yeah, we basically asked him to wrestle, and he said no.
Said no, and he did. You can check this out. He did
check our Insta.
He did comment on our thing. It wasn't. A big page that's not false. It happened.
Another bit of a banger that's been announced that we predicted. Again, another one that we predicted, like we said. Jack Della Maddalena is fighting Gilbert Burns, Miami, UFC 299, the same card as MVP in Holland. Oh, what a fight. Della Maddalena's shown that he's got jiu-jitsu and submission skills. Also got some nasty boxing, knockout power. This is going to be a good one, man. This is going to be the proving ground for Jack Della Maddalena.
It is.
It's a tough fight.
Oh, man. And we've seen, that's the thing that I love about Gilbert Burns is how many people do you see that are he's quite experienced now. He's been around for a while. He's ranked number 4 in the welterweight division, something like that at the moment?
He still is, yeah.
Yep.
Around 4 or 5.
And he just takes every single fight. Yeah. Anyone.
The toughest of the tough, the baddest of the bad.
Fighting Jack Della Maddalena is going to do nothing for Gilbert Burns' career.
No.
But it's a fight. So he said, yeah, I'll take it.
No, he's a top guy, man. Top guy. And the matchup, the style matchup here is the bread and butter.
That is the bread and butter, yeah.
You know? I think we're going to see a striking match mainly.
I think you're right.
I don't think Burns is going to try and take him down. He just doesn't.
I think this is going to be another setup for a potential fight of the year. And what we saw from Hamzat versus Burns. I hope that Jack can bring that side out of Gilbert that we saw Hamzat bring out, because that makes for just the craziest fights.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we'll see a similar-ish fight to what we saw with Burns and Hamzat, unless Burns does try and take him down, but I just don't see that happening. And I think Della can do some decent stuff on the ground. Obviously not up to Burns' level. Burns is a 4th or 5th degree black belt in jiu-jitsu, so
yeah, he's pretty high
damn
class.
Good, world class. But no, nonetheless, this is an absolute banger of a card. Another one, Ian Machado Gary versus Jeff Neal has been rebooked.
Great.
Ian, he's a fan of the show. He's a friend of the show. We love Ian. We care about Ian. He's great. He's fighting Jeff Neal, the guy that he slandered and, and
put a mugshot on a t-shirt.
Yeah, Jeff.
Put a mugshot. That's so nasty.
That's really mean.
Ian.
That's really mean.
Ian,
why would you do that? Well, sorry.
Ian.
It wasn't Ian. It was Anna.
Anna.
Wait, what's her name? Layla. Anna Lee, I think. Layla, why would you do something like that? Why would you
bunch of fucking
slander?
Posh, you bunch of fucking muppets.
Muppet.
Oh, just absolute wankers, aren't they? They parade themselves around and they do all these funny pranks on people, and then as soon
they think they're untouchable,
and
they're wrong.
They are.
They're wrong. Stupid woman.
All right, I think we've said enough today.
Well, I just wanted to say one more thing. Yeah? What was it? I think Neal's going to win this fight.
You do?
Yeah, I think he's going to knock him out. We've seen Gary get clipped by the left hook.
Yeah, we have.
Often, and he got chinned and dropped by that guy. Come on. And Neal has some damn power. Yeah, the Asian guy.
That's all we need to know.
Ian has a fucking pinhead. Tiny little head.
That's a hard target to hit. That's why people do find it tricky to.
But I think Neal's going to hit it. And I think he's going to KO him.
I hope you're right. Cool change.
Never seen one of these before, have you?
Nah.
People. Cool change. Bottle flip.
We both finished them. That's a note I want to make, because I don't think that's ever happened in any of our drink episodes, that we've both
of us, yeah,
finished them before we get to reviewing it.
We finished this really early.
Yeah. Where does it sit?
Where does it sit on the table? I don't think it's top, personally.
You don't think it's top?
I think it's the 3rd best that I've tried.
Oh, on here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah, I thought you were just meaning you don't think it's in the top realm. I was going to be like, of course you're not going to put it above Lucozade. You
I'm not
wouldn't
going to put it above Wayne Lau.
You wouldn't put your own nut above Lucozade.
Of course I wouldn't. I don't like drinking that. Maybe you would though.
Yeah, I think number 3, Cool Change. You've done a good job, guys.
Cheers,
keep
guys.
making this classic New Zealand drink.
I'm say it's a little bit like BRAWL.
It does. It just tastes like very
Sugary
premixed orange cordial,
pre-cum.
but it's nostalgic and it takes me back to being 8 years old.
It's like the
And-
pre-cum of a school teacher.
That is not true.
I wouldn't know.
On that note, guys, now that we've delved into the delicate nature of what a school teacher's pre-cum tastes like, I think we will.
He's the one who knows that it doesn't taste like it. Just
Look,
saying.
what we're going to do.
I was guessing.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do it right now. Okay. I'm going to let them know. These guys. Kobe.
Tell them.
Concentrate. So, okay. This Saturday will be our last show of the year. Going to wrap things up for a little bit.
Gonna take a break.
Take a wee break. And so is the fighting world, really.
Yeah.
So what we are going to do is we are going to wrap up our favorite moments of the year. But maybe, just maybe, if you're still watching / listening / giving a shit, you could let us know what your favorite moments of the year have been so far, and we can break them down. We can review them. We can first of all, we'll see if they're important enough, but mainly we might be able to give you guys a bit of attention as well.
Yeah. So leave a comment. That would be great. We will be like Jackson said, we will be having a break. But don't you worry, that we will still try our very best to keep content out in some form, shape or form. And we'll be back in the new year for sure. Back better than ever, I think.
Better, well rested, but we'll see you on Saturday.
We'll see you on Saturday, fellas.
Peace.